Hey guys, I thought I'd do a little review of some different products that I really like. A lot of times people ask me, what do you like for this or that, or for tournaments, or just in general? So may jump around a lot, but going to try to give you the best stuff that I use. So I'll first start off with this hat. It's called Melon. They're a little expensive. I think they're usually around $70. But I'd say they really hold up well. They keep their shape. This is the trucker hat they call the Odyssey, and really like them, really heavy duty. If you want a cheaper hat, it's also really good. If you look at the carbon trucker hats, I think they're really nice as well. Both the black and the white, I think they're really good. This is my paddle of choice. It's the Gearbox Pro Power Elongated. I would recommend this to someone who likes being able to have a lot of power and pop off a short swing. You got to have good touch, and I'd recommend it more to someone in the 4 or 5 plus range. But it's really helped me in terms of, I call it like a poke at the kitchen, where you just keep it really compact, and helps me win a lot of firefights. The next thing, which I'm really excited about, it's called U-Drippin'. So I'm kind of obsessed with over grips, and I think this is the best one for weather, I'd say under 80 degrees. For stuff above that, I really just like the original Turn-A-Grip. It's been around for, I don't know, 30, 40 years. This is unbelievable holding up in hot weather, and I'd also say ADV is really good. What I like about the U-Drippin' is you got all these awesome colors, and there's even more on their site. I'm going to link my buddy Gary Shaw's code. Maybe I'll get one day. Gives you a little discount. But it's got the right amount of tackiness, but it's not too much that you can't switch grips. So I go between like Continental and Semi-Western depending on the shots. It just feels really good. It's really comfortable. Get the thinner thickness. There's like 2 different millimeter options. I think it might be like 56 millimeters or something like that. It also wraps really easily. It's got a sticky thing on the bottom that you can put it before you start wrapping. But yeah, I just really like it a lot. It looks really cool. It's very comfortable. So definitely recommend that you check that out. Moving on to this, I'm a big believer in lead tape. I think it helps the sweet spot, helps your touch and feel on drops and resets and dinks. I like to put it here on the throat. So some people start an inch up above. I just like to go straight here. It makes it easy to keep it even. I just don't like the idea of it maybe being slightly higher on one side. This is about, I think, 5 to 6 inches. And I've got a food scale, which I'd recommend you get as well if you're really serious. I got mine weighted. It's usually between 8.5 and 8.65. But for every paddle, you just kind of have to figure out, the higher you go up with the lead, the more power you're going to get. Might slow your hands down if you put it at the very top. I usually avoid that. But with the gearbox, it's so powerful, you can't really go much higher than this before you just start sailing a lot of balls out. But this here, it just really helps me with the control and feel. I just like a paddle that has a little bit more mass to it, helps the sweet spot and the twist weight. All right, moving on here. These are the Thorlo socks. They're super comfortable. I would say maybe the cheaper option that's pretty good are the Babolat socks, but these, man, they're really good. So there's a lot of deals and sales on the Thorlos. They're kind of expensive, but just try to find where there's a bundle. I don't really care what color it is. I just don't want to pay, $20 a sock or something. That's kind of like with these Lululemon shirts. These are the, they call it like new. I guess someone maybe returned it. They got the wrong size or something. I'm about 5'6", 160 pounds, and I like a medium. I like to feel a little looser. I don't want to feel constricted. But they're super soft, comfortable. I really like playing in these shirts. Next, I'm going to go to my new shoes. I'm going to mix up the name, Mizuno Wave Exceed Tour 6. So what's really unique about these is that they're extremely lightweight. These are about 10, 11 ounces. And usually you don't get shoes that are that light that are also really comfortable. These are probably the most comfortable shoes I've ever worn for pickleball. And then they're also giving you a 6-month warranty. So if you play every day like me, it's almost like a buy one, get one free. So these are the 6s. I would warn you with these, the toe box is a little bit narrow, but once I started wearing them, it feels fine. The advantage of the 6 over the 5 is if you see this tongue right here, it's kind of got 3 things to it. And it's a lot easier to grab this tongue to pull it on over your shoe, where I'm actually currently wearing the same ones, but they're the 5s. And the tongue here, that's the biggest problem with them. It's just hard to get it up, and it gets like stuck there under when you're trying to put them on. But these have a little wider toe box, and you're definitely going to save like 30% or so if you get these versus those. And if you don't care about color, the one in white is extremely cheap right now. So those are for outdoor shoes. I don't really play much indoor on a hardwood floor anymore, but when I did, these are the shoes. So these are the Kyrie 4s. I'm not going to talk about Kyrie himself. I wish it was a different player. But in terms of how the shoe feels, I mean, it's like incredibly comfortable. This might even be the most comfortable shoe overall, but it's just not going to work for outdoor because it gets worn out over here. Man, I wish they had a 6-month warranty, but it feels wide and roomy in the toe box. I feel like it's almost like a Cadillac Escalade or SUV on your feet. Just super comfortable. Your feet feel really stable in them. You're not going to roll your ankle. You feel really balanced when you play in those. Next recommendation, this is just some basic Scotch tape. I'm a big believer in electrical tape. It just protects the edge of your paddle, and you can see it's a little bit worn through. Sometimes I'll even put 2 layers of it on. It adds a little bit of weight, maybe 0.1 ounces. That's why I don't like to get like the fancy ones, because I want it real thin. Don't want to add too much weight to the paddle. But I think it's really important to protect your edge guard or edge of the paddle, where this is edgeless. So you really got to use it. You don't want to be cracking up, or scraping up your paddle too much. You got to take care of it. Moving on here. These are the Oofos slippers. I also have them just in regular sliders, flip-flops. But man, these save my feet. If you can see this insole here, it's kind of like raised a little bit in the middle, but you almost feel weightless when you're walking around in them. And they really help me recover, after I've played or even on my off days. Just sometimes walking around the bottom of your feet are roasted if you're playing several hours a day. So those slides have really saved my skin. And I really appreciate them. And then last but not least, you've seen the full video on them, but I'm still wearing these basically every session now. These are the carbon pivot glasses. I'll leave my discount code in below. But huge fan of the carbon products. And, they've got an adjustable nose piece here. So if you want it sitting up higher on your face or lower, you can adjust it with just how narrow or wide you make that piece. And it's just nice not having to change out the lenses, because it's the transition lens. It gets dark when it's bright out. I like it without the lower bar. I feel like that kind of obstructs my vision. And I like it sitting a little bit lower on my face, so that way I feel like sometimes the glasses end here and I can like see below that. I kind of like the lens to come down. It feels like I'm able to view balls better that way. But actually took a shot to the face pretty hard. If you can see these little scrapes, I can still see through it just fine, but thank goodness I was wearing these. Really saved my skin. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much the paddle review. Here's my food scale here. It's like $10 on Amazon. I don't know if that helps. But really good to figure out what you want to weigh your paddles at. Once you find something you like, then you go paddle to paddle. You kind of figure out where you're at. Me personally, I like stuff in the, I'd say 8.4 at the lightest and maybe 8.9 at the heaviest. And the sweet spot is really like that 8.55, 8.6, 8.65. Usually that just feels the best. But just, make sure you're measuring it out. And this is called, the Summer House, and it's 1 gram per inch. So there's some different densities. I really think that's the best one in terms of balance of we're not being too heavy or too light. Some of the Selkirk tape you have to put on 1,000,000 pieces. But yeah, so that's all my stuff. And maybe I'll make an update in the future as I'm, enjoying different gear. But hope you enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe.